One of the questions I get asked the most is where to buy brushes. The quick and easy answer is that, well, you can buy them online. Unless if you go to Japan or if you live in Japan, you can just go to the calligraphy store and get one there. If not, you have to buy them online. But in this video, I want to talk about the process of buying brushes. And specifically, I want to talk about my very first brush. See, the thing about the process of buying brushes means that you have to buy a lot of brushes. So this box right here has pretty much all the brushes that I've bought. Oops. And that's just the ones that I don't use anymore. These ones over here are actively used. I have some other ones over there hanging that are actively used, but these ones are all the ones that I have bought and I just don't use anymore. Now, why they're in a box? Well, because I don't throw them out. I keep them all. I feel that all of my brushes gave me something. They are made of, the good ones, they are made of organic materials. So this is actual hairs. So having been made of active materials, I feel like they are alive in one way. They have some sort of energy that was transferred from the universe, I guess, to me, to my ink, to my hand, to what I wrote with them. And there are tons of stuff that I wrote with them. So I don't throw them away. I don't use them because brushes do have a lifespan. They don't last forever. Eventually, they just don't work anymore. Their bristle starts to come off, the tips start to split, they don't write as well. And how much life does the brush have has to do with two things. One, how much you use it, and two, how well you take care of it. So if you don't really wash your brushes as soon as you're done with them, and you don't hang them properly, you don't let them dry properly, or you use hot water or God forbid soap or whatever the case may be, the lifespan is going to cut short. And also the quality of the brush. So if you're using crappy brushes, like that box over there that I showed you, that's full of cheap crappy brushes. So, but if you get some that are better quality, better made, with better materials, obviously they're going to last longer. So I do have in this box, which was inside that other box, I do have some of the brushes, some of my most cherished brushes. So, and then these are right here, if you can see them. So this one over here is my very first calligraphy brush. As you can see, it's a little busted. Let's see, focus. There you go. It's a little busted. And I don't know if you can see the writing. Come on, focus. There you go. I don't know if you can see the writing. But I got this thing at a Japanese souvenir shop in Chicago called J. Toguri. It was on West Belmont Avenue near Tenshinkan Dojo. If you know of Chicago, you know Tenshinkan in the 90s, you probably know what I'm talking about. So I went there on my way out from my summer training at the Aikido school there, and I brought this brush. I bought a ink bottle, and I also bought a kanji book, which I do have. J. Toguri Souvenirs. So that's where I bought my very first brush. Unfortunately, they went out of business a few years ago, so they're not around anymore. What do I know about this brush? Nothing. When I bought it, I had no idea what I was grabbing. I have no idea about hairs, materials. Now I know that it is a brown hair brush. What type of animal? I have no idea. I don't know what the inscription says. Some of it is actually not legible because it's all scratched up. And how much it cost me, I cannot remember. I tell you that it was not expensive because otherwise I would not be able to buy it. I didn't have much money. And also why I stopped using it, I can't remember. I don't remember why I stopped using it. I know I bought other brushes. I don't remember what my second brush it was. I don't remember why my third or fourth brush is. That I don't know. But I know by looking at it right now, I know it's a little bit smaller of the brushes that I currently use. This is the brush, this, well, it's not specifically this one. This one. These two are the brushes that I currently use the most. And as you can see, this one is a little bit smaller. So this is a number 3 brush. Maybe this one is a number 4. So it might be a little bit smaller for the type of work that I do right now. Again, I don't remember why I stopped using it, but I thought it would be fun to use it again and see if it's still good. Okay, so I have a bowl of water here because I like to moisten the bristles of all my brushes before I ink them. And I do that because when you ink the brush, when the bristles are dry, it takes a lot more ink to be absorbed. So later, when you have to clean the brush, it takes a lot longer to rinse the ink from the bristles. But if the bristles are wet or moistened, some of the hairs are coming off. Ugh, a lot of the hairs are coming off. So maybe that was one of the reasons. But anyways, so if you ink the brush when the hairs are moist or wet, then it's a lot easier to wash the sumi ink later. The hairs feel brittle. Also, right here on the head, I don't know if you can see that, right here on the head, it's very stiff. It's very stiff right here. So this is the wood part where it connects, but it's this part here that's very stiff. And then that is because I did not wash it properly when I used it. And there's ink gunked up in there for years and years. And then it made that really, really stiff. And then that's not good. That's why you need to make sure you wash your brushes properly every single time. See these ones, after I learned how to do it, see how soft it is? Okay, it's still very soft. This is right here that when you rinse them, okay, the water needs to come all the way and then rinse off all the way to the end. I did not do that on this one. All right, so I got my brush here. There's some ink. Let's see. Seems to be absorbing the ink fine. All right, so it's holding up to a tip, which is good. I'm gonna use a crappy piece of hanshi. This is not like high quality or anything. Let's just make a line. We'll start with that. Okay, not bad, not bad. I do feel like the brush is soft only halfway down. And then the top part feels very stiff, like brittle or gunky. Now making lines is a little easier. So let's see how the brush does when trying to do sweeping strokes. All right, that wasn't too difficult. I thought that was gonna be hard. I'm also noticing that the brush has a lot of hairs that are like cut, that they're not long all the way to the end. I don't remember giving the hairbrush a haircut. I mean, I don't know, but it certainly looks like there's a lot of tiny pieces of hair that have been cut. So I don't know what that's all about. Okay, so let's try to actually write something, brush a character. Not bad. It definitely feels a little bit worn out, like rough. Like it feels like I'm writing with like a painting brush, like a really old painting brush that, like, you know, paint walls, like a regular brush to paint walls in the house that you didn't like clean up very well, so there's like paint dried on it and like created like gunk, and then you're trying to paint again and it's like all hard, and then you're getting like streaks on the wall. That's what it feels like writing with this thing. Now let's try characters a little bit more difficult, because this one is A, which has all the strokes, so I have to be able to produce all the strokes with this guy. First, the dot, let's see, 1, okay, I have to re-ink. 2, this one's tricky, this is the hook, so let's see. 1, we're gonna switch, stop, and I don't know if I can make it. That's not good. That was tough. I wasn't able to get that sharp hook there. And then we go 1, switch, and sweep. That was not bad. That was not bad. This one is this. Ooh, that was easy. That was easy. Now to the most difficult stroke. I don't know if I can pull it off. We'll see. This is me, Harai. And I also realized that I ran out of space. I wrote the character a little bit too far to the right. Alright, let's start over. Alright, 1 is the dot. See, that feels like it's gonna get dried out. Alright, 2. Let's see if we can do the honey with this one. 1. Stop. Hook. Better. Except that I missed the point. But that's better. And I think I missed the point because this brush does not have a tip anymore. It's like flat. I think that all the bristles have been like cut off. Alright, so let's see. Next one. 1, 2. Okay. Alright, that one was easy. Let's see if it's easy again. Okay. Alright, now, Meiji Harai. This is the hardest one. Let's see. Okay, so start. Push, 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 push. Stop. Oh. Yes! Not bad. Not bad. Alright, let's try this. I don't know. That's not very well written either, but it's definitely not easy to handle. All right, so final thoughts now that I've already rinsed it off and it's clean and washed. Final thoughts. Yeah, this brush, it's not in working order anymore. It's the bristles are coming apart. They feel brittle and hard. It's hard to they don't. I mean, it's coming to a tip now because it's wet and clean, but it wasn't easy to do a point when it was inked. It's a little too small, and it just feels rough and hardened and pretty much just worn out. That's really what it comes down to it. So I'm sorry that I took it out of retirement to make this silly YouTube video for it, but I thought that it would be cool to explore what would be like to pull out a brush that I don't think I have used this brush in 15 years. It's probably been 15 years or more since I have used this brush. And I saw it the other day, it was doing something else, and I was like, oh man, I wondered if this brush is usable. And the answer is no, it's not. So what is the takeaway from this is, well, brushes don't last forever. So take good care of them, clean them immediately after you're done using them. Make sure no ink is left in the bristles. Hang them to dry and just be nice to them. And then once they're not in working conditions, retire them. Give them a good spot. And I think I'm actually going to take this one out of the box and I'm just gonna hang it. And it's gonna hang out there where it's just gonna hang in there, not being put to work, but visible, so that I can see it and appreciate it and be like, look at that. It was my first brush and it's still there. And I'm still doing this. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one.